going global.
Hey travelers, welcome back to the Rift here on Ghostlight. Okay, so if you don't know, I'm away right now on an annual teaching trip I make every year. And of course, while away, Sean Murray has decided to drop an update emoji and light the Twitterverse ablaze. Now, this happened days ago, but as I said, I'm away. I'm kind of busy. Now, he did this to me last year as well, dropping echoes while I was away and cooped up, relying on spotty hotel Wi-Fi. Some of you may remember. But worry not, my friends. I now travel with a mini recording rig, and this turn of events has totally validated that decision. So, let's cobble this video together from this hotel room in Kentucky, and let's discuss. So, it all started on Friday. Sean Murray, the CEO of Hello Games, shocked everyone with an Earth emoji, also known as the Globe Showing America's emoji, and we were shocked because, well, this was much earlier than anyone was expecting. Now, the last expedition wasn't even over, and we were already expecting the next update. That's why it took us all by surprise. A globe, so global? The global update? Now, being unable to make any content on this topic, I just reposted my last Rift video, link in the card above, and said that at very least, we should expect global saves, Sentinel Walker UI, and cooking recipes. That's all we really had evidence for at the time. Now, this prompted a few comments saying that it couldn't possibly be only that, and I certainly hoped that wasn't the case. Now, I have been burnt by the last couple of updates, hoping for that big final part of the 4-part story arc that we started in Interceptor. But wait, that's not all. The next day, Sean posted 3 globes. This time, globe showing Americas, then Europe, Africa, then Asia, Australia. And this got everyone online speculating. But wait, again. Yesterday, Sean posted this GIB made with 3 globe emojis. Now this cute little fella has been used in a few updates in the past. Our friend Captain Steve recently posted the various times this little guy has appeared on Sean's Twitter feed, and this GIB typically rears its head for significant updates, like Next, Abyss, Visions, Beyond, Origins, Expeditions, and Prisms. So, should we be expecting a major update? Now, the community was abuzz with speculation around more diversity of planetary biomes on a single planet, and even introducing planetary and stellar revolutions, making the whole system feel more true to life. Now, mind you, there is little to no evidence pointing to either. I saw a post recently by Sully Kiwi, something I had completely forgot, that in the Sentinel update, the trailer showed us a Minotaur walking through the same exact terrain generated between different biomes, demonstrating that the game devs have had the capabilities to override a planet's biome. And this was 2 years ago, so we don't know the advances they've made around this. Not only that, but remember in Adrift, it showed us that an entire system could be overwritten with just the slightest line of code. I don't know. It seems to me that Hello Games tweaks planetary generation quite a bit. We've had a lot of changes to this mechanic over various updates in the past, but having an update which introduces multiple biomes and global saves seems to fit the theme of this emoji. But is it GIB worthy? Now, we're still missing that big finish to the story arc we started with Interceptor, highlighting the brewing conflict between the Atlantid and the Atlas. Now, this story was a huge focus of 2023, but ne'er a peep has been made since the Echoes update last August, almost an entire year ago. Now, imagine an update where the Atlantid has begun to take over the simulation. Normal systems suddenly become dissonant, and we know they can do it because of what they achieved with the Adrift update. If you don't know what I mean, check the video in the card above. Now imagine an update that tasks the player with freeing the Atlas from the corruption of the Atlantid and restoring the universe. That would certainly be big. But what else could it be? Well, another possibility is that it may not be No Man's Sky related at all. Many of you are speculating that this might be related to Light No Fire and its release, given that the word Earth is repeated very often in the initial announcement trailer. And also the way Sean Murray described the release at the Game Awards last December.
For our new game, we wanted to create an Earth.
And while this is possible, I can't imagine that they would shadow drop Light No Fire with zero hype whatsoever. I do tend to think that this hype train is in full speed ahead for No Man's Sky. Just last night, No Man's Sky went on sale 60% off on Steam, which tends to be their standard practice before releasing an update. And yes, there are times when they put the game on sale without a pending update, but the timing here is suspicious. Also, and most importantly, as of this morning, we have a new internal branch update showing on SteamDB, signaling that something is being tested internally at Hello Games. Now, there was a slight update to Light No Fire on Steam just a few days ago, but as that Bomber Boy pointed out, this was a tag update made by the system and not the game devs themselves. Now, the good Captain Steve, posted a wish list of features this morning, and honestly, waking up in the States to see this on my feed gave me a heart attack of jubilation before realizing this was the Captain and not Sean Murray himself. Thanks, Captain. But he brings up some great points, and there are plenty of hanging threads when it comes to prior hints and features that are overdue for an overhaul. Now, we know additional ship customizations are coming, with previous trailers giving us sneak peeks at shuttles and solar ships. But it might be Hello Games' intention to eventually have the Starship fabrication station support all ship types. Now, there's also this business of the space station cores and the station overrides that are currently in game. Now, neither of these have a function currently despite being in game for a very long time. This has left many of us to speculate that maybe we'll be able to claim a station in a future update, and with the recent overhaul to space stations in the orbital update, this rumor is gaining some traction once again. But let's take that global theme and run with it. Now, we know that there's a Sentinel Walker UI overhaul in the works thanks to that Bomber Boy's data mining. Now, this is possibly setting these enemies up to be a more worthy boss battle. Now, it is possible that Hello Games is turning an eye to the player experience on planets, perhaps tweaking Planetary Sentinel Generation to be a more robust experience, as they really only seem to be a challenge on new saves currently. But could they be using these assets for something more? One thing that's been on my wish list for quite a while has been another use of the raid mechanic. Now, we have something similar in game right now with the derelict freighters, and I would love to see something on planet. Now, we have these new and unused cooking recipes that are in the game files that seem to relate to bug products, so maybe a new enemy type, something of the biological corruption variant, like the monstrosities or the abysmal horrors. I'd love to see the player enter an instance with their party and raid a planetary dungeon of some type. And again, my wish list is for legendary loot that we can grind for, but I digress. Then, there are features that are severely overdue for an update. In my No Man's Sky Rewind series, we've been systematically playing each update starting with the 1.0 pre-day 1 patch. And one thing I instantly noticed was how little the building styles have changed since day 1. Most of, if not all of the assets that have come out of the recent updates all share this new design language. And I think an overhaul of planetary assets to align with that language would make for a fantastic global themed update. Maybe we'll even get those cities we've been asking for. Or at very least, we'll see the return of multi-building outposts. And then there's settlements. Settlements are just not good, let's face it. The amount of people who have asked me to help them with their settlement to get them to S-Class has been overwhelming. But I haven't made that video for one very specific reason. My own settlement is stuck on A-Class with stagnant population growth. Anyway, these are the closest we've seen to a city in No Man's Sky, but the overall ability to develop these settlements has been underwhelming and a little frustrating. I would love to see an overhaul to this feature, making management of settlements more, well, manageable, and maybe even expanding on the capabilities. Imagine a player investing their time and focus into growing a settlement, and as they did, they were rewarded. Their settlement became larger and more advanced, to the point where we'd eventually grow into something more akin to a city in No Man's Sky. And finally, something that Captain Steve pointed out in his recent video, and something that's been on all of our minds since the Utopia expedition: planetary and system revitalization. Now, that expedition challenged the player to rebuild a solar system through a series of tasks coordinated through the Utopia Foundation, a group that was introduced in that update. Now, that update introduced specialized building terminals we used during that expedition only. And one of Captain Steve's ideas, which I love, is to have the ability to claim an abandoned system, which is completely devoid of life, and seed it with any of the flora or fauna we've scanned in our discovery menu. Now that would be exciting and a huge addition to the game. Also, remember that Sully Kiwi tweet I mentioned earlier? Perhaps a mechanic like this would unlock the ability to regenerate planets to a specific biome of our choosing. Now this is heavy speculation, I know, but that would make for a truly fantastic global update. Also, give me some lore. Oh, and maybe we'll see the world of glass, maybe. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Rift. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. The biggest of shoutouts to my YouTube members, those at the interloper and friend entity level, and my lone remaining Rift Walker, Raging Furball. I'm Ghost, and as always, dear Rift Walkers, I'll see you tonight.
We're going global. All the travelers catching the drift. We're going global. Oceans renewing tide shift. We're going global. The frontier forged on the cosmic scale. We're going global. So take a seat, Rift Walkers, let me tell you a tale.